Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Public Opinion Court, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. I hope that you all had an amazing day and you all are preparing for the weekend. I'm pretty sure that a lot of y'all got a lot going on this weekend, and I'm just glad that y'all came and, showed up for your girl for on a Thursday of all days. Thursdays are weird days in the month, but I appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Before we get started, I want to make sure you are subscribing, liking, and sharing the live because we're going to get into some more detailed information regarding the Karmelo Anthony debacle of a case. That's why I say that this is literally a legal lynching. We were at the slaughterhouse and it was Karmelo Anthony versus everybody. Like, just as I'm continuing to just review a lot of the evidence and or lack thereof, it just pisses you off each and every day. So if you're new here and you're just checking in, I am Thelma Anderson, the host of the Public Opinion Court, and I'm collaborating with the Real Life Street Stars as we are bringing beneficial, helpful, educational, just information that we need to be having and conversations that we need to be having surrounding what the legal system is doing to people that look like us. And just like any other show, we start off with hot topics. We start off just going over some things that are also very relevant and very breaking news in our community. And we touch on that. I let y'all warm up, ask any questions, get any details that y'all want to talk about these hot topics. And in the meantime, let me go ahead and let y'all know that a part of tonight's episode is going to be touching on how to file complaints with the disciplinary board, with these lawyers and these judges. Now, I've been working today to put this guide together, a step-by-step guide, because when 2 or 3 or more agree, can't nobody stop us. Can't nobody stop us. And an example of that is Pam Bundy. We know Pam Bundy was up in that White House causing all kind of lies and cover-ups. Well, guess what? She now faces so many bar complaints regarding her actions as the I don't even remember what she was doing because she was so irrelevant, but she was just fucking up everything. But she faced so many disciplinary complaints, and she is being considered for possible disbarment if they find from these complaints that they are substantial and they have merit. Of course, they're going to afford her her due process rights. But yeah, that's how serious it is when we take it serious. So I want y'all to know that I did this step-by-step guide for y'all now. That means y'all gonna have to do the work to make sure y'all submit it, because when I say step-by-step guide, where to go, what to fill out, templates that are pre-made, so that all you all have to do is review, get in where you fit in with what information you want to include that you are privy to, because I'm not privy to everything, but I know exactly what and how it needs to be structured. So that was a lot of work. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold y'all because it's very, very, I want to say, important that you are detailed in these kind of complaints, because baby, they'll return their complaint and say they ain't find nothing. We don't want them to return it and say they ain't find nothing. So that's the reason why I put it together, because I know so many people are looking forward to making sure that their voices are heard as just the average resident, whether you're in Dallas County or somewhere in another state in the United States. Right is right, wrong is wrong, and your voice is allowed to be heard when individuals like lawyers, doctors, nurses do something that falls below the standard. So let's go ahead and get into some of these hot topics. I'm going to start with the breaking, and I mean breaking, news that came out of the great state, not so great state of Louisiana.
Louisiana State Attorney General Liz Murrill on 16 criminal counts. That they are 8 counts of public intimidation and 8 counts of malfeasance in office. Now her bond has been set at $400,000. The special prosecutor appointed in this matter, Lori White, to tell us that she was waiting on Murrill to post bond just a little while ago. Now this decision comes after sources told Fox 8 Tuesday that a grand jury began investigating letters that Murrill did send city officials, including Mayor Helena Moreno, District Attorney Jason Williams, and 5 city council members. So through this indictment, which was first obtained by Fox 8, you can read through and see exactly which city council members and the mayor and the DA that Murrill is alleged to have threatened. Now, this all comes from a conflict between the state and the city over who should be the city's clerk of court. There was legislation passed near the end of the legislative session this spring that talked about merging the clerk of court in both civil and criminal courts. And the city council went ahead and passed resolutions that appointed an interim clerk, whereas at the state level, they had the law reads that the civil clerk would instead be in place. So after those city council resolutions were passed, Attorney General Liz Murrill did send letters to those city officials that we were talking about, saying that under a state law, she could potentially take them out of a job. So that is everything that is pertaining to this indictment here that was handed up just a few moments ago. We're working to get more information exactly on the next steps in this process.
So if you know, you know, when we're talking about Louisiana, and Louisiana has been under distress with the leadership. We got the squirrel, Jeff Landry, and we got the possum, Liz Murrill. These are 2 of the most lethal individuals in power in Louisiana. And if you don't know, there's an active petition to remove the nuisances that they are out of office. And that has been going on since prior to May. So what essentially happened is the state, as in her, and the governor was trying to, or stripped the clerk of his rightful place after being elected. This is an African-American man who basically got into something that should not have resulted in him being convicted. It was overturned. He's out here being productive. He was elected by the people, and the people spoke and elected him into one of the clerk positions in New Orleans. Y'all, these people lost their mind. They lost their mind, and they went and stripped him from his ability to take his rightful seat that the voters of Louisiana put him in. So they've been tussling. They've been tussling because right is right and wrong is wrong, but they think white is white and right and black is always wrong. No. So the mayor of New Orleans, city council, judges have all told these idiots that you can't do that. You cannot do that, and they simply don't care. So she decided in May that she was going to send some threatening letters and emails and threatening people of their positions, their titles, everything, things that you're not supposed to do as an elected official, as well as the attorney general, because you are considered the chief prosecutor of the state, where local prosecutors are considered the chief prosecutor of their city or county, or whatever municipalities or however they call it. So they say, we finna lay down like that. We finna roll you on up in here, and we finna see if this grand jury gonna indict you, because what you doing, not on our watch. So they They had a grand jury review the facts, the evidence, things that would be relevant in a grand jury proceeding. And the grand jurors was like, oh, yeah, a 16 count indictment. 16 carriages like Beyonce, but a 16 count indictment. That means you are a low down, dirty prosecutor that don't deserve to have the title of prosecutor. Because what people like this nuisance don't understand is when you get into office, you are employed by the people, not by you. And she done got up in there and act like she employed by herself. And the people said in that grand jury proceeding, no, you are employed by the people, and the people have spoken and you have been indicted. 16 counts. And let me tell you why I don't feel sorry for this musty looking lady. Last year, Kyron Lacey lost his life because of depression and because the state troopers put false charges on him. Had a promising career as a football player. It's a great kid. Just so happened he was driving one day and they stated he caused an accident that resulted in the loss of life, but the individual that was driving that hit the individual was not paying attention to what she was doing. And I believe that allegedly she was on her phone and she was speeding, something that she denied, and they had to check. So he got indicted. Depressing. Because once a black man gets indicted as they're headed to the NFL with their dreams and aspirations, and Kyron Lacey was going to be in the NFL, make no mistake. They wrongfully charged him, and it took just as long for him to, not just as long, but a couple of months. The incident happened in December. He got arrested. I believe in April. His lawyer was a few days away from getting the grand jury or presenting his case to the grand jury with their grand jury packet. Well, he didn't make it. The weekend, days before his lawyer was to go before the grand jury, he unalived himself because of the pressure and the depression and the false arrest and the uphill battle. Now, when individuals have mental health issues, you have to be very delicate. And this was something that the Louisiana State Troopers, who are housed by the chief prosecutor of the state of Louisiana, and when they finally let all of the evidence out, because I reported on it, and that's what really made me see what the purpose of my platform was. And it was to bring awareness where it was silent. And I'm proud that my posting and my reporting really elevated what had happened to Kyron and the injustice that he had received. And when we saw the video, we saw the proof. And it was so bad, y'all, because, white people don't like to be wrong. His lawyer attacked me. His lawyer attacked me because I called out the prosecutors. And the reason why I called out the prosecutors, and I will continue to call out prosecutors, just like I'm calling out the prosecutors on Karmelo Anthony's case, is I've been on that side. I know how fast justice can really take place. And I know what it looks like when they slow it down to benefit them. They had no business accepting anything from the state troopers related to Kyron when the vehicle showed he had no involvement. So this heifer, this squirrel wants to bring her out and have the caucasity to negate what the evidence stated and still had the nuts and the balls and the mildew to portray him as being a criminal. Well, guess what, Liz? You got 16 damn counts. 16. You are the criminal. The same mugshot that Kyron had to take wrongfully, you had to take for doing the wrong thing. How you like them apples? So I'm gonna keep y'all up and posted on what's going on with this squirrel. Yeah, because I don't like her. I don't like her. So that's one of the hot topics. And like I said, this is a place where y'all can ask questions. Y'all can talk. Like, y'all listen and make sure you are subscribing, you're liking, you're sharing the live so that we can have these conversations and people can be used to coming to platforms that are actually credible, reputable, and they have integrity. Yeah, we can key, but we can always tell the truth at the end of the day. So the next hot topic is, I know some of y'all have seen this. Tell me if you have. Tell me in the chat if you saw what happened in Florida today. Or not today, but it was reported today. Something happened in Florida that is similar to the defense that Karmelo Anthony utilized legally and lawfully. And it happened to someone that is of our color. Now, y'all gonna have to start interacting in the chat now. Before I talk about it, I need y'all to tell me if y'all know it. Y'all can say yes. Y'all can say no. Y'all can say, girl, we lost. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in the world. We can't keep up. We can't keep up. Thank you. Yes. See, come on. We have, see, I knew someone was gonna know what it was. Thank you, Tessa. The Walmart shooting that happened in Florida. You know, Florida is notorious for their what? Stand your ground laws. The stand your ground is they stand firm on standing your ground in Florida. And to what we saw today, and it actually started getting reported yesterday, was an African-American woman that stood her ground against an aggressive, white, privileged man that thought he was going to run up and not get put down in an aggressive way. So we're going to watch the video and we're going to talk about it. You didn't miss much. We just got on. We're on the hot topics. Oh shit! Oh. So what did we see there? We saw an aggressive entitled white man walk up to a calm black woman, and not in a manner that looks like it's a mutual conversation that they were having. He followed her in an aggressive way because, truth be told, if we really want to get into the numbers, we can get into the numbers of who the most violent offenders in this country is, and it's not us. See, they like to put that narrative out there, but the most violent offenders in this country are white people. So when you have a tendency and a propensity because of the color of your skin, like white people do, because they feel like they're privileged, I'm always going to be in fear of my life. I'm always going to be in fear of my life. Because I don't know y'all. Y'all are some of the most notorious, dangerous people that is in this country. Because either you're going to get someone through your actions or through your lies. And that's a dangerous combo. Just imagine that if there was no video, imagine. What do y'all think if there was no video? They would have arrested her. They would have charged her with murder. They would have tried to throw away the key. Luckily, there's video. There's video, and the law in Florida clearly states what she did was a lawful unaliving. A lawful unaliving, because guess what? Black people get to use stand your ground as well. It's not just the race. It's not because of the color of your skin. And when we're talking about the composition, a man is automatically going to be more powerful than a woman. It's in the genetic makeup. You're a man, you're aggressively approaching me, you won't stop following me, I'm in fear of my life, you won't leave me alone, I've asked you to stay away from me, and you keep coming. That's a lawful killing. He should have minded his business. Though I tell black people, we be minding our business. They come and want to mind our business. We be minding our business. Okay. Now let's get back to the case at hand. Yesterday, if you were here, you know, we talked about this enhanced audio from the video of the encounter with Karmelo Anthony and law enforcement. We heard from this baby's mouth that I was just protecting myself. I know I'm not guilty because he put his hands on me. See, I was at the trial. This right here was not their focus. They didn't enhance that for a reason. They had every ability to enhance that, and they didn't. And guess who else had the ability? Mike Brown and Toby Shook. Mike Brown and Toby Shook. And I'm going to keep saying this for anyone that is new to the Toby Shook era. Ask yourself and ask him, if you had Roy Oliver, which is the Jordan Davis case, the little boy that was unalived by a police officer in Bald Springs and was tried in Dallas County, and you were on Amber Geiger's case, y'all had mitigation experts, y'all had use of force experts on the doggone door. You had an appellate attorney in there, but you didn't think that this was going to be necessary for Karmelo. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm buying it. I'm buying what y'all putting out. So in this video alone should have been evidence of his innocence. But no. That's when the plot, the plan, the scheme that Collin County set up really start to take its place, its rightful place. And when I talk about the conflicts, there is something called conflict of interest. And we're going to do a conflict of interest check tonight. Because there were some people on that case. There is nowhere way in the hell of hells this list should not have recused several people from the possibility of being not being fair and impartial. You see, the Metcalfs is what they're known to be now. They have a tendency to lie. They have a tendency to misrepresent. They have a tendency to not be truthful. They have a tendency to be racist. They have a tendency to play victim when you are the reason because you raised such deplorable human beings where other human beings had to suffer. And people like to say, well, why are you talking about someone that suffered such a loss? They don't act like it. They don't act like it. They don't deserve my grace. They don't deserve my empathy. I do have and know that the loss of a human life is like no other, especially for a mother and a father. But when you are domestic harassers like the Metcalfs, it'll be forever fuck you and who you thought you were. So when we're talking about the Metcalfs, because I have another video to show y'all regarding the deplorable mother that says she's a victim, but you're not a victim. I don't look at you as a victim. Not at all. So let's start with, hold on, let me gather it because we're going to go through this list so y'all can be educated and acclimated on who these people really are. So let me know if y'all can see if y'all can see this list good enough if I need to shrink myself, because if I need to shrink myself so that y'all can get a full view and understanding, just let me know because I'll do that. But in the meantime, in the between time, make sure you have subscribed, and most importantly, make sure you have liked. You have liked and you have shared this live so that we can keep the education going and the vibes going. Okay, hold on. Let me shrink. Okay. How does that look? I think that's the biggest I can make it because it's vertical. Tell me if that works for y'all. It's the same? Do you got your glasses? Kayla, you got your glasses? I don't think Kayla got her glasses in. Oh, yeah, pinch it. Yeah, pinch the screen and you can open it wider. I forgot about that. So let's go over the conflict of interest chain. And I call it, because you know, you got the chain of custody. So we call it the conflict of interest chain. So let's start with Megan. We know Megan and see, I knew you do, Kay. I know your eyes over there like, girl, I knew what you was doing. So we know we all start by the unfortunate relationship of Megan and Jeff. They decided to get married, which resulted in a lot of just damage that has happened. Because, you know, y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Because you know in your instinct when you're not supposed to be with somebody, and then you go and you be with them people, and this things like this is the result of two unqualified, incompetent people in a relationship together, being together for longer than they should have been and procreating. So one of the most important things that when you look at this whole situation is you got to connect the dots, because now we have to do the solving and the unsolving, because these people that are in proximity to their whiteness decided that they thought they was smarter than the average fifth grader. Baby, they dumber than an average fifth grader, because they always leave a damn trail. Everywhere they go, they leave a piece of cheese, and guess what? It gets picked up, because they don't know how to clean up after the destruction that they cause, because they think that just because their proximity to whiteness, it affords them the ability to harm other people in their trail. So when we look at the dynamic, we have to start with the Metcalfs. And we also have to look into Ken Paxton, because he is Collin County. So they get married, then they get divorced. Well, guess what? The divorce was handled by the district attorney of Collin County wife, Jill Willis. The district attorney of Collin County is Greg Willis. We know he's deplorable. We know he is a predator. We know that the city had to settle, the county had to settle and use their insurance in order to make sure that their victims in a sex retaliation, sexual harassment and retaliation claims could be made whole from the damage that they caused. So Jill is, and I still married to him. You know, they loyal. They loyal over there. She was an attorney who represented Jeff and Megan Metcalf in their divorce. Now, when we're looking at it, you're like, wait a goddamn minute. What you mean? What you mean? No, this ain't it. And then when we get back to our senses, because after that it knocked us down, we go back and we're like, okay, let us dig a little more. So Greg Willis, who is married to Jill, and we have Jill's picture right there. It's an illusion. She ain't really a sight to see. Like they really ain't sight to see. So Greg Willis and Ken Paxton, let's go to them. We know that he is the DA. We know that Ken Paxton is what? The Attorney General. If you think long enough and you look at it from that lens, y'all, why do you think that the Attorney General decided not to allow anyone to go see that video at Frisco ISD? I ain't saying I'm always right, but I am saying I'll be early. So these are two of the most powerful people. We have the chief prosecutor of Collin County, and we have the chief prosecutor of Texas. Y'all get what I'm putting down? Do y'all see how dangerous this is? The chief prosecutor of Collin County with access to the chief prosecutor of the state of Texas. Let me tell you how dangerous it is and how I know their power is because I'm dealing with that right now with Dallas County. You see, I put in a FOIA to get the records of my boss, who I know lied to federal grand jury. Caught him dead smack in his demon ass. I put that in February. The OAG ordered it in May to come to me. I just got majority of it 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And when I reviewed, I said, this ain't everything. I had to go back to the OAG who said, oh, yeah, they violated, but they gave you some. So I had to hit them with a piece of evidence because that's why the one thing about us, y'all, we keep a goddamn receipt. Our receipts never decline and never expire. So when you're looking at the intent, the OAG have the ability to release things right away. Or they're going to give you the opportunity to fix it, or they don't give a damn. And that's what we have here. So why they believe that that's the only way we can get the guy doggone video, it's not. It's not. But there have been some things that they've taken down off of their website, the district. So I just wanted to point out that proximity to power so that y'all can know exactly why this is elevated so high, because they're all in on it. So Frisco, the ISD and Paxton's connection. When, hold on, let me see what I said. When, oh, this must be something that they got into it about. Hold on, y'all. This is important. Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. Oh my freaking God. So here's another connection that is just, oh, it just pisses me off. There was an issue with the Students Pavilion in Frisco ISD. Ken Paxton's office pushed Frisco based on the law. And guess who was put in there to overlook it? The infractions. Toby Shook. Y'all, when I tell y'all this is the shit that boils my brain, is because I wholeheartedly believe that lawyers should have to disclose every possible conflict. Do you think that the Anthony family would have allowed this man to be on their baby's case if they knew this chain in connection? Do y'all believe that they would have allowed Toby Shook, who used to be partners with Wirski, and now we have this connection. There is no way in God's world of worlds that this family, if they knew, would have allowed this man to be on their child's case. It's too much of a red flag. It's too much of a conflict. It's too much of a gamble. Oh, y'all. See, sometimes when you read something and you read too fast, it doesn't hit your nervous system. I don't think people really understand the magnitude of the cover up of this case. I don't think people understand. This is egregious. Oh, y'all, this is going to make me cry again. Oh, God. I have no words. This boy did not stand a chance, y'all. Like, that family put so much trust into their representation, because you are supposed to be able to trust the people who are representing you. And these people took advantage of this family. Like that, this is the reason why I do what I do. This is the reason why I refuse to be silent. That was never my DNA. I know people who are in this profession that are afraid because of a check. Fuck a check. That says a lot about your inability to be able to maneuver and not be one-dimensional. So I call it out because things like this happen. I am not going to stop until there's a permanent stain on their reputation revolving this case. They can't hide behind attorney-client privilege. You didn't act like the damn attorney anyway. Every bad apple that I see, I don't care what you look like, I will call you out. That's why I built my platform the way that I built it, with integrity and with the understanding that this platform is about the people, not about relationships. Every bad apple that is in this profession, if I ever come across, it's over. It's over. Because you don't deserve to be somewhere that you get an enormous amount of credibility and power. And we're seeing it with this case. That baby said, I know I'm not guilty. I know I'm not guilty. Okay, let me get to the bottom part. Ooh, child. So, to sum up this Lincoln chain, we're going to go back to the deplorable Greg Willis, you know, the one that sexually harassed and likes to retaliate on women who don't submit and don't lay to play him. You have the deplorable Bill Wirski, who got his big on that he reported after they filed the lawsuit. I can't wait to go to court. Guess what the insurance company said? We can't afford to go to court with what you did. And they settled. Longtime friends, Toby Shook and Bill Wirski, and former law office partners. And I remember when I was at baby prosecutor school in 2017, January, Bill Wirski was a presenter there. This is how sick the profession is, y'all. They know it's so many predators out here, and they don't do a damn thing about it. They know these people in this profession is deplorable, and they keep it a secret because they like to play behind closed doors. They like to play with making phone calls. Do y'all know a lot of them don't like my platform? I had a judge who is best friends with a former mentor. And I wrote about her in my book, Shut Up and Prosecute, because she was a Black woman. And I saw how she treated Black women. And I was in her court, and I received the same treatment. And I wrote about my experience. She didn't like it. My mentor at the time brought it to my attention. She didn't tell me who, but I know that's your best friend that's close in proximity. So a few weeks ago, no, back in May, she did something that she deserves to see the Judicial Committee on. And I reported on it. Do y'all not know she made a phone call to try to get me in trouble? This woman made a phone call and tried to get me in trouble. It was at that moment I said, you know what? I respect this mentor too much to stay attached and stay connected when they are connected to someone like that. I don't care how much I love you. I don't care how much I respect you. And I respect you from a distance and pray for you from a distance. But when this woman tried to get me in trouble for telling the truth about her and exercising my First Amendment right, she gonna see me. She gonna see me. But she ain't gonna see me in the form that she thought. But she gonna see me. And that's why I don't play with this bullshit that they do. That's why they can't take my platform. That's why they hate when I tell the truth about them. No, I wouldn't have to tell anything about you if you were doing the right thing. So now we know we have Greg Willis, Bill Wirski, and Toby Shook all together. Hold on, there's another link in chain. And we know that they're all connected to Karmelo Anthony's case. So let me ask y'all this. If you know that you have this many links in proximity and you know that you're going to be biased towards your client, don't y'all think it was the responsible thing and the commendable thing for Toby Shook to get out this case? Can I have an intermission on this right here? I'm torn, but I'm not torn. Because I know ultimately what Black people are going to do. Ken Paxton does not deserve to win. He does not deserve to be in the Senate. He is a deplorable human being. He don't deserve access to be able to create more damage that expands outside of Texas. My issue with Tallarico is he is selective in how he speak on Black things and Black issues. We are no longer in the state of letting politicians ride the fence with us because we know what the power that comes with our vote. He needs to get it together. We are the most loyal when it comes to who we decide to vote for. We don't. But he feels too entitled. And I don't like when a Black woman is being attacked because you don't like her answer. And he has never come to the defense of Jasmine Crockett. He has never. I'm not saying not to vote for him. Not at all, because we know what the alternative is, a devil. But I am saying that we got to make sure that these people are held accountable for the vote that comes with power behind Black people. We let Joe Biden sit his sleepy ass up in that White House, and he never protected us. But he went and protected them Asians. We got to stop doing that. It's okay for us to call them out, regardless if we were support or not. But we got to stop letting them ride the fence. We got to. Our votes are too powerful. It's too valuable. So back to, I just had to get a little intermission on there, because we got to vote. We got to vote. We got to. We got to vote like our ancestors had to vote when they had to pick them damn jelly beans. When they had to take tests in order to vote. That's how valuable our See, because we get to think back to our ancestors when we talk about our vote. So we have another interesting link in chain, y'all. We have Judge Roach Jr. and we have Laura Roach, who's his lucky wife. I don't know how lucky that is. They have been together for over 17 years. She's been a family law attorney in Collin County. And she is a former district attorney of under Ken Paxton. Up under Ken Paxton. Up under Ken Paxton. So you have one wife in Greg Willis who handled the divorce of the Metcalfs. And you have Laura Roach, who is also have a Lincoln chain. Let's see. Judge. Oh, his daddy. Oh, so let me tell you, Thelma is Latoya. Y'all, a lot of people say that. A lot of people say that. Like, I can't get away from that. I can't get away from that. And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. It's always been either Latoya Luckett or Gabrielle Union. But I don't see it, y'all. I don't see it. Everybody else see it. Oh yeah. Paxton, that divorce is full of shit. He out here cheating with a Christian influencer who was cheating on her husband. They in pictures together. I'll tell you, white people are weird. White people are weird. So there was a controversy that happened with Judge Roach with utilizing influence for personal gain. And he got sanctioned for it, which means that these individuals don't have the moral compass. Then they definitely didn't have it for this baby. What are the chances that Karmelo Anthony, a bright young man, bright, when you look at the pictures that he was taking with a traitor like Eddie Parr, y'all, that was one of the most respectful young men. You can tell it just from the pictures. And he became a victim of these predators. Hello, somebody. I have no words. I have no words. Hold on. Thelma Ann's. Not you calling it Thelma Ann's. That's funny. But make sure y'all are y'all liking this live? Like, how many? I can't even see how many likes we got, but we got to have more than this. We got to have more than this. And make sure you have subscribed. Because briefly, I have created a step-by-step guide in order for you all to file the complaints against these deplorable individuals. What I've done is I provided you with where to go, how to file it. There's going to be a video explanation. Also, templates, ready-made templates with the rules that qualify for the issues that we have continued to address between prosecutors, the judges, and the defense. Ready-made templates, because I know how extensive and what passes through. So I was like, I'm not going to just tell y'all to go and file it because we know we need to. I'm not just going to give y'all where to go without educating you, because a lot of complaints get turned away off the merits. But we follow procedure. And long as we follow procedure, that's all we can do. So I have created a step-by-step guide. And it's literally going to save you. It's going to take what normally takes about an hour, and it's literally going to take you about 10 minutes tops. F that. Probably about 5. But 10 minutes top, because it comes with the template. It comes with the exhibits. What I mean by exhibits, things that we know that are in the online that is useful to these complaints. We only got 136 likes, but we got over almost 300 people in here. Guess what? I just need y'all to go and like. I just need y'all to use that thumb, the right or the left, or the what is this called? Is this the index? Or the pointer? I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm going to send it to a couple of different platforms that are dedicated to this cause. I'm going to send it. Thank you. I was right. I think. But it's going to be available tonight, hopefully before midnight. It's just downloading, but it's going to be available before midnight, and you're going to be able to get it on my website. Let me put the link in there so y'all can save it. Hold on. Let me put the link. That's not the link. Where is, oh, here's the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Hold on. Who in here cutting up? Oh, it's time out. So I put the link to the website in the chat. It's going to be available tonight. I am going to send it out to other platforms so that they can have access, so that you all can get access. Everybody can have access, but it's going to be available tonight on my website. And I'm going to put a link in my bio on here, as well as on Instagram and TikTok, so it can be easily downloadable and y'all can get access to it, and we can run these complaints up, because we got to get these complaints up, because you gonna feel us. You're gonna feel us. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to all of them. Thank you for that. I'm gonna send it to all of them. But let's get into a deplorable parent and her rant on cheerleaders, her rant on Karmelo Anthony. It's just sick what she said. It's just sick. But before I get into that, let me ask y'all, do y'all think that is going to be helpful and easy for you all to go? And do y'all think a step-by-step guide is going to help you cut down on the anxiety that it takes to go on this website and probably not knowing what to do? But if you knew what to do, you will go ahead and file the complaint based off of what you're aware of. Perfect. Because I want to make it as helpful as possible. So I came across a TikTok room, and let me tell you something. TikTok is different. TikTok gonna take you through there, and they will clip you up and clip you out. You got to be careful in the TikTok street. So Megan likes to go on TikTok with her Metcalfians and talk real grimy, real suspect, real racist. I'm going to play this and we're going to talk about it.
Secret, sassy.
A lot of these women that are up here saying your boys did these things, their sons are incarcerated right now.
Oh, big facts.
Well, the incident was that we had played Frisco Liberty that night. And
yeah, I got to hear this.
The last thing you want to be is the popular guy in prison with a lot of money on your books.
Keep that a secret, sassy.
A lot of these women that are up here saying your boys did these things, their sons are incarcerated right now.
Oh,
big facts.
Well, the incident was that we had played Frisco Liberty that night and lost, and we should have beat them because they hadn't won a game in like 3 years. So, the whole football team was frustrated and upset, and Austin and Hunter were physically upset even at the game. Like, they got in trouble from the coaches because, like, Austin threw his helmet. Hunter was the one who's kind of more like he would get more upset about things. He went back out on the field and finished the game. Austin was like, I'm done. He was just, there was only like 2 minutes left and he was just pissed. He was just in one of those moods. But after the game was over, him and Hunter and I know for sure one other kid who was an offensive lineman went to Cane's to eat. And I'm going to be honest with you. The cheerleaders, I love the girls. I wasn't a fan of the coach and all those kind of things. And I felt like our cheerleaders just were like,
T. Diddy is a cheer coach. She's a cheer coach.
What's the point?
Yeah.
They were just like, what's the point? This is, our team's trash, this kind of thing. And the girls apparently were talking about the game and making comments about how crappy our team was. And Hunter, more than likely said something nasty to one of them because that's how he approaches things. And Austin just, when everyone was like, man, I don't understand why you guys got to be like that. Like we're upset that we lost and this is how you're not even going to support us. So there was not like a physical altercation. It was more of verbal of like, you guys are assholes for not, you're supposed to be Frisco Memorial supporters and you're acting like we're shit. Mm-hmm. And you're cheerleaders on top of that. So fast forward to the email that was sent. From what I understand, the coach had talked to Austin and Hunter about just what happened on the field the night before. And then the coach had sent the email and Coach Jackson, who was our head football coach, actually told them, if you have a problem, you need to go to the police because it was off campus. And there was nothing he's going to do because it was off campus. So nothing came of it other than, yes, there was a talking to. And he could have some choice words for someone who was going to be disrespecting him. I'm just going to be completely frank. That's just how he is. They were identical twins, but they were 2 completely different type of children. And then I actually asked someone here recently, how it got leaked or whatever, how the email had gotten out to all these people or whatever. And someone had mentioned more than likely it was a mom that was just pissed off and just decided she was just going to do whatever to hurt my kids more than because she felt disrespected because maybe it was her daughter that felt disrespected. So she felt disrespected and wanted to.
Or she saw the name Metcalf in the news and she wanted some clout. There's that.
Right. So it wasn't even a cheerleader. It was the mom.
I don't know if it was a mom that sent the email. I think it was a mom that leaked it.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe the mom and the cheerleader wrote it together and then
definitely that's cool.
Why is that even a big deal though? Like this?
Because they're trying to paint them out as bullies and they weren't.
You can imagine
Megan and Bayboy as a cheer coach. Mm-hmm. My girls would have been in more trouble. because you're supposed to support your team no matter what.
Yeah, and it's really laughable, but the ops like have a great time with it, right? Because what else do they have on your boys? Like, what else is there?
Well, I mean, apparently Tiffany Billion said that they were in trouble for selling drugs, so there's
Oh my God.
Well, there you go, guys.
I think I'm gonna spend some time on her tonight.
No, he's never has laid a hand
Set the record straight, y'all.
A lot of these women that are up here saying your boys did these things, their sons are incarcerated right now.
Oh,
Big facts.
Well,
Yep.
Big things.
I always wonder, like, just
They'll judge yours, but they won't judge their own.
But
that's
you
okay.
hear first that he never laid hands on Megan. She just said that.
never did.
They won't even put money on their books. JoJo, come on.
The last thing you want to be is the popular guy in prison with a lot of money on your books.
Keep that a secret, Sassy. Shh. Shh. We're not supposed to say that out loud.
You guys are hilarious.
Man.
Let me read the email. Since Megan think this is funny. It's hilarious. That's what she said. You guys are hilarious. Well, let's all laugh at the deplorable children that you raised. You raised them to be monsters. You raised them to disrespect any and everyone. You raised them to threaten women or young girls. Let's talk about how you failed as a parent. You failed as a parent that you sit up here and support the behavior that your children contributed to this world, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Thank God for those cheerleaders, mothers, and fathers who was not going to allow you to victimize their kids. That's called parenting. Stepping in to protect, not stepping in to continue to cause harm because you want to look the other way. You do not get Mother of the Year award. You get a D. It should be an F. I'll give you a D out of sympathy, but it should be an F. Those kids are a product of bad parenting. That's what they are. Those kids are a product of bad parenting. And every night you go to sleep, you realize if you would have raised them better, things like this wouldn't happen, to where we have an innocent young man who is incarcerated because y'all had to set him up. This had to be a setup in order to take down an innocent Black man, because y'all couldn't win fair and square. Y'all couldn't win on the merits. Y'all couldn't. Let me get this email. Since she got jokes, I do too. Let me read the email from the cheerleaders. Don't they all look like they are one park away from the trash? So here's the email that was emailed, and that coach should be fired. Why your ass is on the internet in these rooms? You are a teacher. He needs to be fired. Complaints needs, when I'm gonna figure out how to file complaints on his, yeah. Since he want to get on the TikTok streets, we're gonna take it to the board streets. So the email said, it was emailed to the coaches. It said, the other cheerleaders and I have, from a cheerleader, the other cheerleaders and I have tried to make an effort to stay supportive and spirited throughout the football season. However, the disrespect we feel coming from some of the football players is making it very difficult. Today, after our game against Liberty, some of us cheerleaders in uniform went to Canes, while talking amongst ourselves about the laws. Hunter Metcalf stood up and yelled at my friend and fellow varsity cheerleader is a fat B word. That's what he said. Your mama is too. Your mama is not a fry. She's 1 foot in of obesity, if not. Do you call your mama fat? That's where you came from. I don't understand what triggers his rage. This is a consequence, so we stay out of it. But for it now to be directed towards one of the people that shows up every game to support and cheer them on is astounding to me. After they left Canes, one of the other football players told us that Hunter and his hands were bisexual. 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 Which means that he hit women. So he said that, and she is not only embarrassed but genuinely scared, especially after seeing the way he can act on the field. I'm only coming to you because I feel you should be aware that he is acting like this in public places, which is not good for our school representation and discouraging us to keep from cheering them on. I'm sorry for having to even come to you about this, but after tonight, it truly feels like it's getting out of hand. I recognize that he may be upset that we lost, but there is no justification for the way he treated my friend tonight. I would also appreciate, she said something else at the end. I think I cut it out, but why is a cheerleader having to email a coach who then turn around and do nothing? They all need to be fired. They all need to be fired. And I think we all now, while we're reporting, I'm gonna do my deep dive into these coaches. We're gonna bring some awareness to them before the school year starts. I want them to have all day to realize that as a teacher, you're not supposed to be on the internet doing that. No. So that video, that audio proves who they really are. Proves who they really are. Y'all don't see the Anthonys on the internet. Y'all don't see the Anthonys in rooms. They are the real victims here. Their family has been victimized and been taken through hell and still going through it. While we have a family that raised horrible kids on TikTok, telling people to target people at that. The superintendent, I think, left because of this situation, because the audacity for Jeff Metcalf to be upset that Karmelo still get to graduate like he is lawfully allowed to. They did not want Karmelo Anthony to graduate. But they had the audacity to honor your son who didn't finish the last year of school. It makes no sense. You can't say that, oh, this situation is pending. He shouldn't get a diploma. Oh, but the son is gone. He still needs a diploma. It ain't mathing to me. No. So there are some other developments that I'm working on related to some paperwork that has gone missing that I need to, bust down. Also, going deep into this case, there's a lady by the name of Susan. And I know it's been talked about on other platforms because Keisha brought it to my attention. I'm going to do a deep dissect into that case and identify all of these parties that are still active in Collin County, because what they did was they put a fake case on her. She was a judge. She kicked one of the good old white boys' ass. She's a white woman. They targeted her, put a fake case on her, and ultimately they had to pay her. This is in Collin County, and it was under the guidance of Judge Roach's father. Yeah. Yeah, I am staying careful, especially after the death threats that I received. I ain't never seen no stuff like that. I've never experienced that. I've had my number for almost 20 years. It would have been 20 years next year that I would have had my number. And I had to change my number because of the doxing. Yeah. It got real. But my ancestors are realer. Like, God is realer. Yeah, it was death threats. They said they were going to lynch me. They were going to break my neck. Yeah, it was some horrible things. And I was just like, But this is America. This is America. So before we head out, let me know if y'all got any questions. Put the questions in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about anything y'all want to talk about. Ask your questions, but make sure you are liking the live. We got over 300 people in this live. We need to get these likes up. Yesterday someone asked me, it was like, hey, I don't know what's going on with the super chat, y'all, but I received the DM, was like, hey, I couldn't pay for a question or do a super chat. How else can I go about just giving you flowers? I said, my Cash App is right there. My Cash App is on there. If anyone is feeling, generous, I said, it's right there. It's not necessary, but it's right there. But I don't know what's going on with the super chat. Oh, trust me, I already got the person who did. I know who platform it was on, and I know where they are because they're local. And yeah, actually, the FBI called me last week and told me that it needed to stay local. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When did you get blocked? Who blocked you? Oh, yeah, it was her. It was her. She's a part of it. This is America. Oh, yeah. These people are the worst. Yep. Check out Queen Sheba Live from today. She dropped some tea in the first 10 minutes of the show. Started at 6-minute mark. Basically, she met. Ooh, I gotta go watch. You know, Queen Sheba followed me today. That's ironic. I'm gonna go watch it. I sure am. Did you know Drew Anthony had an appeal case against Sarah? They said he lost one of his rulings. So let me just say, it's not an end all be all. That's just a step in a road in order to get removed from a case that you shouldn't have ever been sued for. I can tell you by the time, if it goes to trial, I don't see her being successful. Defamation is a high burden. And guess what? Her behavior is going to come back and bite her too. You don't get to go in court and think that your issues are and what you've caused is not going to be front and center. No, you don't. It comes in. Everything comes in. If I'm them, I am getting her ass in admissions. Because you gonna admit to all that you was out here doing. If you don't, good luck. I would get her in a deposition. It's a lot of ways to skin a racist. The Cash App is on the screen. I'll put it in the chat. I know how that makes it convenient. Because if it's scrolling, baby, my eyes don't work like they used to either. The Cash App is in the chat. It is spelled Justicbae. It is no E on justice, just Bae. Justicbae. But I have several defamations that I have to file on people, and I can't wait. I can't wait because I know that they won't survive it. I know. One thing you can't do to melanated people is mislead us and think we okay with it. Amen. 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 So just to give y'all an update on that part, because a lot of people want to know the process. So we know that his team filed a motion for new trial and a motion to recuse. So procedurally, normally it goes back to the court on a motion for new trial when a defendant feels that things was just Well, this is a situation that is unique because they also filed a motion to recuse, which was very smart and very much necessary because one of the rules for judicial, not candidates, the judiciary, the people, the judicial individuals. I'll just say that. Media is prohibited while you're still in, if it's an impeding matter. So what's going on here is he had that interview 2 days after, no, within 24 hours after the verdict. And you go and you tell, you are biased, you are calling African Americans the blacks. Who the fuck is the blacks? Who is the blacks? You can't be on nobody's bench calling African Americans the blacks. So that interview is going to be the reason he gets recused. So we thank you for taking your side on, thinking that you was about to be prime time. You about to get prime timed up off this case. Because if he don't recuse himself, then what next step is they file a motion to recuse and another judge hears it. And another judge makes the determination. If that judge determines that he should be recused, he has no other option. You can't appeal it. Naturally, you would think somebody that, well, he ain't got common sense. I was going to say naturally people with common sense, but he ain't got common sense, would recuse themselves automatically because they are biased. And you showed us your bias in that interview. But he not. He going to want them to have a hearing because that'll be the next step. And the good thing about the motion for new trial, it has to, the motion has to be set within 75 days of the filing. Or is it 75? Yeah, 75 days of the filing. Yeah. So that is July, August, September. They should have a motion for new trial hearing. But in the meantime, there's going to be the motion for the recusal. If he don't voluntarily recuse himself, then they have to file the motion. She's in Tyler, Texas. She lives in Tyler, Texas. So the super chat, I don't know. I got to check it. But the alternative is my Cash App. I don't know what's going on with this super chat, y'all, because it's 2 nights in a row. But I'm going to check it to make sure that it is working for the next. Who's calling me? Oh, let me see. You calling me while I'm on live? You want to say hey to the people?
No.
You don't want to say hey to the people?
Mm-mm.
We're talking about Karmelo.
Okay. That's cool.
I'm almost done. Where you gonna answer?
Just call me when you're done. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, she's in Tyler, Texas. What we are naturally born. Rose, don't. Y'all do not laugh at Rose. But what else to say? Oh, I was talking about the hearing. So there's going to be in the interim. We know he's not going to recuse himself, though. They're going to have a motion for recusal hearing, and it's going to be heard by someone else. And when that is set, because I know it's going to be set, y'all know I'm going to be there. I'm showing up because you ain't closing. Access is open and will not be denied. And for the motion for new trial, I will be there because, yeah. And I just hope in this process, y'all, this record reflects an attorney that did something. Y'all know when Young Miami said, it's always something. It's always something. I just hope he did something that's worth salvaging for Karmelo. See, y'all gonna get me in trouble. Oh yeah, y'all want me to do a show with Drew and Mike. Y'all know I went to law school with Drew. We had the same mock trial. We was in the same mock trial program when he was at Thurgood. He was a year before me. And that's why we beast. We beast like that. Would you say that when Karmelo Anthony said, I did, hold on, we got a question. Would you say that when Karmelo Anthony said, I did it, would you say that means I did the stabbing, but it was in self-defense, or do you believe it pertains to something not stabbing? So I don't think he said I did it. I think he said I didn't. And you probably just got here because you probably wasn't here yesterday. So yesterday we played the enhanced audio. And in the enhanced audio, he said, I was just protecting myself. Then he said, I know I'm not guilty. He put his hands on me. That's innocence. He said, I know I'm not guilty. He put his hands on me. Yeah. The Northside Street Stars. Oh. Who the Northside Street Stars? Oh, who we got angry in the chat? Who angry? Oh. Who angry? Who said something? Who said it? Oh, we just went over that one. I reached out to them like last 2 weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, we got to get a people alive. We got to get a people alive. Listen, my wigs be either taking me through that or keeping me through that. You see that? Yeah. You don't want me to talk about these McMill braids? Will those procedures be in? Oh, no, it won't be. So it'll still be in Collin County. The only way it will ever be in a different venue or jurisdiction is if he's granted a new trial. And if so, then they have the ability to try to transfer venues. I mean, Collin County would not be the place where it will need to be. That it's too prejudicial. It's just too prejudicial. Yeah, that officer needs his whooped. So I know if you are trying to ask a question and you can't see the super chat, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened to the super chat. I'm gonna figure it out. But here's I put the Cash App link in the chat because I don't know what's going on with this super chat. I can't even tell you. It looks like so it is monetized. It is. I just don't know what's going on the back end. Don't be coming for my wigs. Oh, I know you didn't. I know Love Forever 444 with no picture is not up in here being disrespectful. Okay, we about to show you better than we can tell you. We about to show you better than we can tell you, person. Because you can never afford the strain of the lace on this wig. Thelma, where is the said knife? Was it exhibited? The knife is another issue because it was moved. So it wasn't in its original space. I want LaToya to keep going. I mean, whoever this Love is, because they comments get deleted, so they wasting their time. I'm just gonna be petty because I got almost 10,000 blocks on Instagram. I don't play that. Frisco got they do. Frisco got a lot of money to be playing with people. Yes, I got almost 10,000 blocks on Instagram. Because let me tell y'all something. I don't just block the person, but I block the people who like whatever they said. You got to go too. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you think the motion for a new trial will be granted? Yeah. I think it's highly possible. I would say this is what I would give it without seeing the motion, because I would have to actually see the motion and the merits of it to give it higher. So without seeing the actual motion yet, I would give it a 6 out of 10, which will increase once I see the motion. Somebody said, do you know if Karmelo is in good spirits, and do he know all the support he's getting across the country? I did see a post the other day that stated Well, it was because he has his iPad. So if you send a message, he will receive it if he reviews it. And she showed a screenshot that he was thanking her for the support and for the prayers. So I just that just made me smile, because I could never imagine, but when she posted that, it just made me emotional, because he's still respectful. He's still being who he was raised to be. So I did see that the other, like last week. I seen it last week. So he is responding to the messages, y'all. So send all the positive messages his way. Oh. What's going on in this chat? Do you think Hunter's sleeping with his brother's girl and could have? You know how white people do. You know how white people do. By the time the Anthonys sue everyone, we'll be paying state taxes. Why was there an M on the knife? That's a good question. I can tell y'all, let me just say this. It's worse than we thought. What transpired is worse than we thought. Worse. That's my motivation for keeping my voice amplified about what's going on. It's worse than what we thought. And I'm talking about from the standpoint of his representation too. I'm just so anxious to know what the legal team is doing behind the scenes. They working. I ain't even got, they working. And they working hard. They are working. Let me see what else. What should this experience teach other young boys his age? Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. I think it should teach young boys his age or coming after him that, unfortunately, your proximity doesn't change the narrative that they would paint because of the color of your skin. You could be have a 3.78 GPA, never been in trouble, is very respectful, great at what you do, and you show up and protect yourself and you become a criminal. I think more so to be more self-aware, and I hate this, that our children have to be so aware of where not to sit now, because you got to make sure that you get home safe. So that's what I would say. Be conscious. Like, you cannot take your eyes off of the possibility of something happening that you can't control. If you want to send, you can use my Cash App until I fix the background and all this backlog stuff that's going on. I'll put it on the screen. This is my Cash App. To anyone that want to send gifts or whatever you want to send, you can send it to my Cash App. Let me see. I believe that Hunter had a knife. It was one question. I'm gonna get to that question, but it was another question that somebody had. Now this had me cracking up. I personally think one of them thick. Where did you get this from? Where did you come up with this? I'm scrolling over here and trying to read some of the questions, and I see that I'm like, I got to bring this one up because this is something that I would say. I think it's a possibility. I think doubt could have been raised. I think that video didn't show anything. It didn't show anyone being able to have the statement or make the statements that they were making. Yes, teach bullies how to keep their hands to themselves. I believe one of them. I believe some. I don't believe. Y'all, I don't know who had the knife. I don't know who had the knife. They never proved who had the knife because nobody testified to seeing a knife. That's what I know. Oh, so there was a development in the Tupac case that they are going to, this is why I say this. Anything you say, post, send, or receive can and will be used against you in the court of every law. The update in the Tupac murder case, the individual that has been charged, y'all know he went Keefy D or whatever, whatever your name is. He was going on these podcasts like Vlad TV. And he wrote a book. Anything you say, post, send, write, send, receive, get paid for, can and will be used against you. And they were trying their best to keep these interviews that he was doing out in these streets, out of his trial, and keep that book that he published. The judge said, no, I want that. I want it. I need it. We gonna hear it. That's what the judge said. And that's going to be a part of his case. The prosecutors get to use that in his case. Here's another thing that is a good question, because when I see that little whoever that was run to that trash can, that's giving rugs to me. That's giving they was throwing something away. That's what it gave to me. So that toxicology report, we need to see it. We need to see it. Video was altered. Can someone tell me if Karmelo Anthony's attorneys will be able to get him an appeal bond? That's up for it's a slow process, y'all. It's a slow, but that is an option. It just has to get to that option. And prayerfully, y'all, the way God works and the way that he moves, he will be able to give one, because there's a police officer that is on an appeal bond for murder. Yeah. So if it's good for him, it's going to be good for Karmelo. Are y'all liking this live? Did y'all hit the like and the subscribe button? Because we just up in here talking like we at a family reunion. The saddest part of this is that this has become so widespread. Oh, wait, an individual approached my family member, barely 20, about this. She was potentially aggressive. He walked away, thankfully. That's crazy. That's why didn't the defense play the videos of, because they didn't call Hunter. They didn't call Hunter. And let me tell you something else. I would have called Hunter. I would have called their daddy, because their daddy claimed to have driven him to the hospital. But now your mama coming out saying something different. They both would have been on that stand. That's another recusal. This is another reason for a recusal. I'm gonna go look at them. I'm gonna go look at what this. I'm gonna go look at, because it didn't go to no experts. I'll tell you that. Okay. So on the docket, that would be, I don't know, on the next docket, we're gonna dive into these lawsuits that links a chain. We have some more evidence that we got to talk about. I'm gonna go look at Queen Sheba's interview with the teacher. And I'm gonna just tell y'all this. I knew about these emails last year when it first happened. I knew about it. I saw it with my own eyes. These girls were terrified. They were afraid for their life because of these thugs. So it's deeper than what we see. It's more to it. It is a massive cover-up for sure. Something was added yesterday. Oh, snap. I'm going to have to go look at it. The team was sorry. The team was sorry. Sorry. But yeah, I'm going to go pull it up. But listen, y'all know we are family at this point. We are family. And I thank y'all for joining. But before you leave, if you have not liked this live and you have not subscribed, make sure you do that now. Make sure, because that's the only way that I'm going to get more people. And y'all my people. But I still need more people. I still need a little bit. But yeah, that's going to be on the docket. And yeah, it's more information coming out every day, every single day. And I'm going to keep my ears to the streets. And we're going to have more information coming soon. Yes, replay, send, cut up, repost, do whatever you need to do to get the word out, because we're not playing about ours. They can play about theirs because, you know, they like to play with theirs that ends up in jail and with their nasty selves. But we don't play about ours. No, it's free Karmelo till it's backwards. So I'm going to head on out. I want y'all to have a great evening. Oh, yes, don't forget, the link will be active on the BYOB firm. Let me put it back in the chat so y'all can save the link and go to the website to get the complaints so that y'all can file them. And hold on. Oh, something weird happened. Oh, yeah, there goes the link. And I will see y'all when I post the next live. But listen, if y'all got a question, comment, run to the comments, run to the DMs. You know, we are family. I do respond. But y'all have a great evening.